Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday, and man, I slept in a little bit today. I gave myself a little bit of time to sleep in, but I woke up. I did wake up early today. I woke up at 5:30, and then I ended up going back to sleep. The reason I woke up at 5:30 was I had a dream last night. I had a dream that through all of this, my wife was cheating on me. So it's funny. Like she was like out with a friend, and we, like for some reason, like I was a little suspicious or something. So then I like was talking to one of my kids, and he's like, "Dad, look, I found like a map that mommy was looking up." So she looked for directions to this place she was going. It was like in the middle of Ohio, and like I called her up, and like, "Where are you at?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm with a friend. I'm going to be staying over." I'm like, so this whole story was in my dream, and I woke up. You ever have a dream where you wake up like emotionally like involved in the dream? So I was like sad. I had this like this this whole thing, this whole life event happened in this dream, and it like made me sad. So then I woke up, obviously not true, and I mean she hasn't left the house in a month, so I know there's nothing going on there. But crazy, it was crazy. So I mean, like, so you ever had a dream where you just like where something happened, where you're just like it was that real? Um, so it's not something I worry about normally, but like some for some reason that came up. And why would that come up now of all times? I mean, we literally cannot get away from each other. Not that it's bad. I mean, we're doing fine, but it was a weird dream. But it also made me think about, so the boys and I have been doing exercises in the basement, right? And we do beach body. So we have the beach body live thing. So we do a weightlifting program, and it's just three guys in the room, right? And so one morning we turned it on, and it went directly to this promo for um, the there's a woman that has her own new program, and she says she's a pretty woman, and so they popped up, and I'm like, hey guys, let's do that one, right? Just joking around, and they're like, Dad, no, Dad, would you cheat on Mom? No, no, don't you cheat on Mom? Like they went to this like whole other level, right? And I'm like, okay, forget it, like that's not where we're going. But it's funny because if Lynn sees a guy on TV, like I can't even think of who her guy is, that she'd be like, whoa, you know. Uh, but I know she's like maybe even said like, "Hey," while watching a program, the boys won't say anything. They won't say anything. Like it's no big deal. It just goes right past them. But if I were to say something like that, they'd be like, "Dad, what's the matter with you?" Like, jeez, double standards in this house. I'll tell you. Good morning, Anna. It's a Saturday. Yes, it is. Glad to have you though. So it's a good day. My one boy, my youngest. So we've been playing Fortnite a little bit together, but he um, is playing Fortnite with another kid from his kindergarten class, which is nice because it keeps them together, right? Keeps them social. And so he has been wanting this battle pass on Fortnite where, like you pay money, and for a free game, it costs more than any other game I've ever seen. But you pay money, and then you get to go through these levels, and you get awarded like prizes and new characters and stuff. So I didn't want to do it because he's 6 and he doesn't need to pay for it, right? He just started playing it anyway. Well, so now they started doing a Deadpool skin. It's a Marvel character from the movies, a comic book too. And so that came out yesterday. So now he wants it. So last night I agreed to get him this battle pass. It's like $10. Um, Now he's all excited. He was jumping up and down last night, and he woke up super early this morning. And I told him right after we do this, I'll go in and buy him the battle pass. So he's looking forward to that. But yeah. So wait, I gotta get my meme of the day. Let's get into that before we get rolling here. So the meme of the day, it's actually not a meme, but it's kind of fun, and it's on our Instagram account if you want to check it out. But it is social distancing bingo, and you mark off whatever you did, or whatever you're doing now in isolation. So there's sent a meme. Well, I can mark that one a couple times if that were the case with bingo. Binged an entire season, done that. snacked all day long, Googled my symptoms, meditated, worked out, learned something new. It's all kind of fun stuff, right? So check that out. It's on our Instagram story. It's at Define My Day on Instagram. Which reminds me, if you like us, if you like kind of what we're doing here, I would ask you, I think now more than ever, I would ask you, leave us a positive review on Facebook. I'd really appreciate that. Share any of the things we do. If we have a video that we've done that you like, please share that out. Like us on Apple Podcasts. That's the Defining Life podcast. All these recordings are done and uploaded to the podcast. So you can like us on any of the podcast apps, Spotify, Google, but the big one is really Apple. We get the majority of the traffic there. So if you like that, give us 5 stars on there and leave us a nice review. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, just anybody that can spread the love for us, I'd appreciate it. We appreciate all of you guys. So yeah, I got a little bit of a sniffle right now because yesterday, so I made the lasagna earlier in the week, right? And I put a cookie sheet under the pan because I had a feeling it was going to bubble over. So I put the cookie sheet under, and it did bubble over a little bit of sauce and cheese down there. And I forgot to take it out of the oven. So yesterday, Lynn made salmon with that 5 buckets of salmon seasoning that we got on Amazon. And she preheated the oven and opened the oven to put the salmon in, and smoke just billowed out of the oven. I mean, our entire downstairs was smoky. I can't believe it didn't set off the fire alarm. And so we had to open up all the windows. And right after we did that, it's like allergy, because it hasn't rained in a couple of days now. So all the pollen's out and it's everywhere. And the trees are blooming and grass is growing. So now, boom, here I go, allergy. So I'm sniffling like crazy. So I apologize for that. But hey. So what's going on in the coronavirus world? Recommendation is to wear masks now when you go out. So do that. Now I won't feel so silly if I do it, because that's always kind of the thing, right? You don't want to be that person. Although I think you're probably smart if you are. I have seen some pictures though. I posted an article on the Defined Life Facebook page, my one where I do the Thursday afternoon videos. There's an article where they did people funny, the funny things they did. Like people have those water cooler bottles over their heads, and it's hilarious. A husband and wife had maxi pads across their faces. Some of the things people do, it's amazing. But they're saying something as simple as a scarf, and it's not so much so that you don't get it; it's just so that you don't pass it if you have it and don't know it, which is still crazy to me. Like how some people have 0 symptoms, and then other people are dying. It's crazy. It's amazing. On the business side of things, loans and Payroll Protection Act and all this other stuff. So it's all moving out really slow. Banks are completely confused. Last night, phone lines were jammed. People couldn't get in. My branch manager treats us pretty well. He called me to do the app with me on the phone, which is good. But what I found out, and that's funny because I don't even know if he knows this, but the reason they're doing it personally rather than having you do it online is because the banks are getting a percentage of your loan. Now, it doesn't come out of your loan, but it comes out of the SBA. The SBA pays it. So if you have somebody that helps you preparing it, if you are a business or if you are a contractor and you're doing this payroll protection program, make sure if somebody helps you that you put their name in there, because I think they get up to 5% of whatever the loan is for. So it's like a little origination fee that the SBA worked in there. And, just take care of the people that are helping you out is the thing. And I know the banks are trying to get in on that too. So that's why they're doing this one-on-one communication rather than just having everybody do it online, which is slowing everything down. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Diana. You love waking up early. I love waking up early too. I just didn't want to do it today. So I woke up at 5:30, but then went back to bed and slept for a couple more hours. Stacy, good morning. Lavie, good morning. Jamie, good morning. Diana, I love the no-sew bandana one with hair elastics. So I saw somebody posted about that on one of our posts earlier today. They went to a dollar store and did that. That's pretty cool. I saw that. We have one N95 mask that Luann brought us. We haven't used it yet. But I think next time I go out, when I have to go back out for that prescription next week, I'll be wearing it for sure. Good morning, sis. Thanks for joining me. Happy Saturday. One of the big thing that I see with a lot of the pushback we see from people, especially that are not Define My Day users right now, the pushback is that why should anybody be doing this right now? And I think you guys know, it's not. And I want to reiterate it. It's not to like get more done, right? That's not our goal right now. That might be our goal in other times in life, but right now it's I think the main priority is just make sure we're happy with where we're at, and if we're not, we just need to figure out why. With the end result being that once this is all over, we should be satisfied with where we spent our time. This is a moment, right? And hopefully it's a moment. I mean, there's people getting sick, and hopefully none of us are one of those people. And hopefully we don't have anybody in our lives that touches us that closely. But what we do with our time right now is pretty important. Where we place our focus, how we handle ourselves, but it might come to a point where we have to start doing things for others more than we're doing now, and maybe that's going to have to be what we're intentional about, depending on what direction this goes. People that do catch this and maybe have built up some immunity might have to start going out and start helping because they're not going to be susceptible anymore. At least I hope not. And maybe they start helping out and picking up some of the slack in whatever way, whether it's in a business or a food bank or helping at a hospital. Who knows what people are going to need going forward here. So just things to keep in mind. One of those random thoughts that I have about this whole situation. And we'll see where it goes. But I think keeping all of that in mind and keeping ourselves healthy so that we can manage anything that comes our way, whether it's health related or whatever. So that's kind of how I'm looking at this whole process. I'm not looking to be Superman with Define My Day. I'm just looking to make sure that I'm happy with where I spend my time. And today, as a good example, today I'm going to jump online with my kid and play Fortnite for an hour, right? And that's just me being intentional with my time there. Something he wants to do. He's 6, and I'm meeting him where he wants to be. So that's what we're doing. So that's kind of the point in all of this, right? It's not not to be Superman, just to do what really matters around me right now. So, but yeah, there's not, today's kind of a quiet day. I'm pretty, low key day. I think this is going to be kind of a relaxing day. We'll do a little bit of work, but for the most part, it's going to be sort of quiet. We did get some really good news yesterday, so we got the final go ahead for our mortgage. So it looks like closing is going ahead in 2 weeks. So I think it's like Friday, 2 weeks from now, we're going to be closing on the house. I don't know what the logistics of that are going to be like. I wish PA did virtual closings because I have really zero interest in sitting in a room with anybody. One of the solutions that we talked about with our realtor was possibly printing out all of the documents ahead of time and then just walking in, signing, and leaving. But even then, like I was telling Lynn, hopefully the existing owners, the movers don't cancel on them, and hopefully they get moved out. But even then, do we hire a cleaning company to go in and disinfect? Do we, not that I believe they're sick, but you never know, especially if movers have been walking through the house, right? So, I think the way we're going to handle it is we're just going to look for a couple of days where it's sunny. We're going to go in, open up all the upstairs windows and let just air it out. And I need to turn that off. And then I will go in a couple of days later with a mask and gloves and disinfectant and just get every surface I can find for a day or two. And then we'll start just moving things in. Now we're not gonna move, like we're not gonna hire movers ourselves. So we're just gonna, and all our furniture is really old. We kind of knowing that we're gonna be moving soon. So we've never purchased any new furniture, and if you'd see our dining room stuff and our living room stuff, it's not nice anymore, because we didn't want to purchase anything knowing that we were going to be moving in a couple of years. And so We even had a chair break. Like somebody sat in a chair and it broke underneath him last year. I was like, oh God, we better find a house soon because we can't keep living like this. But so we're just going to be, probably ordering things on Wayfair or something, and just redoing the house slowly with newer furniture. We were going to ask because we love the way the old owners decorated it. We were even going to ask them to keep some of this. If we could keep some of the stuff, we'll buy it off of them, whatever. But with given the situation, we're just like, we'll just start fresh, just start with new stuff, and go from there. But we'll take it slow. We don't need to overdo it. We have a budget, and we're going to try to stay within that budget, and go forward like that. But I have a lot more space to do stuff like this, so I'm looking forward to a bigger open space for videos and for even online courses that we might do. Um, and I think that even working, like we'll have bigger spaces for Luann and for Lynn and any other employees we bring on. So it's a nice situation for the next couple of years from a work perspective too. So we're looking forward to that. So I'm happy about it. Thanks, Lavie. Appreciate it. Stacy, do you have suggestions for handling the endless messages people are sharing? Some are funny, but once in a while, in the last couple of days, I'm starting to scream by late afternoon. It's like I get, here, let me put this on the screen because I'm not reading it very well. It's like I get to the point of enough is enough of the virus. It's part of life right now, but not all of it. On your move, movers could be an issue. My cousin just moved and had to do all the moving themselves. Movers canceled. That's what I'm worried about. The existing owners, they're not moving until like the 15th or something. And when this is all going down, if it's at the point where 50,000 people have died so far, and there's 1 million people infected, I can imagine movers canceling. So I don't know what that looks like. I don't know. We'll have to talk about it, I guess, at the time. But if it pushes back closing, that's kind of a problem. So I don't know. I wish it was a situation where they were already out, but I understand why they wouldn't want to do that given the uncertainty right now too. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. You know, I don't even know. I don't know what that looks like. I have no idea. But I know we're not planning on getting movers. We're going to throw away what we can throw away, and we'll just move ourselves with a U-Haul for the stuff we need. And we started making a list of the furniture we're keeping, and it's all small stuff. The biggest thing we're going to keep is our bed, and that can be taken apart. So all the other stuff is pretty small. Actually, my desk here is one of the biggest things, but I don't know that it'll get out of this room. I think it's too wide for the doorway, and I don't think we would get it down the stairs. So I think this desk might actually have to be taken apart, and once you take it apart, I don't think it's going back together. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. So Anna, so we considered closing and renting it back to them on a short-term lease. Here's the problem. And it's one of the things we're thinking, because we're going to probably rent this house, right? The problem is if you have somebody renting from you and rent is forgiven and you can't evict anybody, right? Not that I would want to evict anybody out of a house, but if it gets to the point where this is going on for 2 or 3 or 4 months, I have a new mortgage we're paying for. I have somebody that may not be able to pay me rent because they probably have a new mortgage also that they plan on moving into, and I can't get them out of the house. And so I don't want to be in that position either. And I'd like to be patient, like I don't want, like, it's just, I mean, like, everybody has their, and this is kind of goes to the, like, everybody has their own financial things to worry about themselves, and it's all cascading. So if we say, okay, so the old owners are under a rental agreement, they can't afford to pay us rent, but they're not leaving, so we can't move in, but we still have to pay the mortgage. So then do we say, well, then what? So I don't know, I don't want to get into all of that. So, I'm trying to make it as easy as possible with as few variables as possible. So that's kind of the way we're looking at it. It's not that I don't believe that they don't have the best intentions. It's just that things happen, and these are weird times, and I'm trying to leave out any potential problems. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know what might happen. Who knows? Um, you had to do that years ago, and it worked out really well. Yeah, so I wouldn't be opposed to it. In fact, we considered it because we were considering closing early. Like we were thinking, if the mortgage commitment happens yesterday, why don't we close next week? But then it came out that their movers weren't coming until 2 weeks from now. So then we would have to do that, and we just rent it back to them for $1, right? No big deal. But then, we started talking to people about it, and they're like, well, yeah, but then what if the movers cancel on them? And then what if, this and what if that? And like, there's just too many variables. And so trying to minimize all of that is the complication now. Anna says, can you have the rent taken out of the sale proceeds and held in escrow? Just thinking out loud. Now that might be a good idea. That I could live with, right? Um, I don't know. That might be something we have to talk about. Anna, man, you guys give me more value than I give you. Thank you. That's a good one. So I'm gonna have to talk about that as we get closer to this. Thank you. But we would know that too, right? If the movers cancel on them, we would know that by the time closing happens. So we would know, okay, we need to escrow, a couple of months worth of rent. I like it. Good job. Thank you. Cool. Yeah. Now you got me thinking. I can't even think about anything else because now you got me thinking. Like, okay, problem solved. Let's go. I love it. I love it. See, I'm going to start bringing all my problems to you guys. I'm just going to talk, and then you guys just give me solutions. We're going to crowdsource this stuff. Thank you. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. So we got that, and so now like that's out of the way, right? Now that we're done with that stuff, um, now it's just a matter of packing, right? So we're still taking stuff to storage. We have our storage stuff facility that we have a lot of my old office stuff still in. So we're just taking stuff there, and so like we're trying to clean out this house as much as possible, which is nice because it's so much more wide open. I'm like, geez, we should have done this 3 years ago. We wouldn't maybe not be in such a hurry to move. But so we're this place is much more open now. We're trying to plan out. We're going on Wayfair, looking at furniture we might like, and trying to figure that out. And we're trying to figure out in what order we move things. So we need to probably move operations here over to the new place. So like packing and things like that, we're going to move over there. My desk and things will move over there. So maybe worst case scenario, if we can't get our personal things moved, we can at least go there for work during the day and then come back here to live. So there's different things we have going on, trying to figure out the best way to handle it. Yeah, Lavie. That's what the lawyer suggested. So we're. I think Anna. Thank you very much. I think that's a pretty good idea. We'll have to consider that moving forward here, and that gives us some relief there. That's good. Um, yeah, very cool, very cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we have going on. Yeah, good morning, Gemma. Yeah, so Wayfair. It's funny because I never paid attention to it, but I saw the commercials all of the time. Like anytime you're watching any one of the news stations, Wayfair's on all the time, right? And I never paid attention to it, but I guess my sister-in-law pretty much furnished her entire house from Wayfair, and it's really not expensive at all. I don't know what the quality of the furniture is though. Uh, we bought our living room furniture from a local furniture store here that we thought was quality, but the stuff fell apart within years. It's just and the current couch we have down there right now is it's just falling apart. And so I'm hoping we don't get into that same situation. I'm not looking to break the bank on furniture for sure, not at this stage in our lives. But I do want some decent quality furniture, right? So I'm hoping that Wayfair is nice. And one of the places that I've been looking at, and their furniture actually looks like good quality, is Sam's Club. The stuff they keep, like there's limited things they keep in the store, but if you go online, they have like a whole array of options, and it's not overly expensive. And it looks like a good quality product. Like it's wood and not like particle board or whatever some of these things are made of. Our couch downstairs right now, was not inexpensive. I don't think so, but the wood it's made of is like basically thick particle board, and you can like now after kids jumping on it for years, it's just falling apart. So I don't. I'm hoping Wayfair is pretty good. I'm pretty sure you have to put it together, which I'm not looking forward to, and I probably would have hired somebody until all of this went down, but we'll deal with it. And look, these are definitely first world problems, and people are suffering through harder things. So I mean, we're in a great place right now. I'm certainly not complaining. It's just random things that we talk about. Janice, you're running late for bacon. You're cooking bacon and eggs. Oh, I would love some bacon and eggs right now. We have plenty of eggs. Bacon's in the freezer, though. I should have thought it out. Maybe I'll do that for tomorrow morning. Oh, Diana, your nephew works for Wayfair in California. The quality is great, better than IKEA. Good. That's great. It's funny. We do still have a little bit of IKEA furniture, some bookshelves and stuff I've had for like 2 decades. Definitely not the greatest quality. They're just going to be shelves for toys in the kids' bedrooms going forward. But it's funny. Yeah, IKEA was my place when I first moved out. Decent quality. Once in a while, you may get something where holes don't align, but they send you another for free. Our table is strong oak. Very cool. Yeah, you put it together. Yeah, I am not looking forward to that, but I figure, we'll have free time. Like, I mean, look, we're still working, but with all of the other things, all the other components of our life gone, uh, we definitely have time to do things, right? And, so, uh, yeah, I mean, we'll definitely have time to do it. It's just, that's one of my, a place to grow my mental strength is putting furniture together because years ago, like in fact, I'm thinking of this desk. This desk might be 5 or 6 years old. It was a Staples like $300 on sale for 200. Like one of those desks, and it drove me crazy putting it together. And this room in here is not that big, right? It's a small third bedroom in this house, and so uh, you know and like if you put one together backwards and then you realize it a couple of pages later, oh my god, drives you crazy. So I'm looking at it differently now. So I was in a different place 5 years ago, right? I was much weaker mentally. And so, like even now when packing books in the basement during Christmas season, I'm trying to be more mindful of each step and patient and whatever, right? So I'm looking at it the same way I now look at the grocery store. Grocery store used to drive me nuts. Now it's more of a like, let's just kind of relax and go through it experience. And I'm going to try to put my furniture together in that same way. So, and I even think back to like the Karate Kid, like, wax on, wax off, and paint the fence up, down, right? So I'm trying to look at putting the furniture together moving forward as a mindfulness practice where I'm just going to be patient. I'm going to be in control of my emotions. And I'm just going to go about, no matter how long it takes, I'm just going to go about it and be mindful of my energy and what's happening in my time, right? That's what I'm saying now. Talk to me in a month and we'll see how it went. But we'll see. Um, yeah, so Janice, just a different size puzzle, right? You're correct. It's a 3D puzzle. Sometimes the instructions suck, but it's a big puzzle. And so that's kind of like and you're right, Diana, set your intention. That's kind of the thing. It's the mindset I bring into it and like what I keep coming back to. Like, okay, that's okay. This is just, like I do the same thing with washing dishes. Washing dishes is the bane of my existence. But it's a little bit easier now that I'm trying to be more mindful with it and I'm looking at it differently. I'm looking at more of a mindfulness challenge rather than just this thing I hate to do. So it's all perspective, right? Uh, Terry, can you hire someone to put the furniture together? I bought something from Wayfair a few years ago and the box is still under my bed. So I won't hire anybody right now. I don't want anybody coming into the house. So, I don't know what anybody else does with their time. I don't know where they've been, who they've exposed themselves to. I am going to be as paranoid as I need to be, more paranoid than normal to have anybody come into my spaces. So when that box comes from Wayfair, we're going to disinfect the box and we're gonna put it together ourselves in the house. And it'll just have to be, throw on some music. Maybe the kids can help. We'll just try to do what we got to do. Great bonding time with the spouse. Yeah, right. That might be the case too. That we might be able to do it, or we might hate each other by the end of it. So maybe we do separate projects in 2 different rooms. I don't know how that's going to go. We'll see. Uh, Great educational experience for the boys. My daughters are now putting together furniture. Great at putting together furniture. That's awesome. And that's kind of like what I'm thinking. And they are fairly mindful. And if you saw the photo, I came home from the store. I think I showed you guys yesterday, right? I came home from the store yesterday, and my 6-year-old was packing orders. So, because he knows that she's been down there a lot and wanted to come down and hang out and help her out. So he was helping her pack orders yesterday. And he likes doing it for a while. I mean, he has a shorter attention span, and they're good. And they're really good at Legos and things. So they do have probably stronger patience for that sort of stuff than I do. So, Lavie had a handyman who did all that time, and a carpenter who had downtime during the winter did his side job looking at your local Facebook community. When this is over, absolutely, I have no problem. Right now, if I could, I'd put a tent over that house. Oh yeah, put a futon together and backwards and had to take it all apart. I've done it a couple of times, and and even after you realize you put it together backwards, like I go back and look at the instructions, and I'm like, that was not clear. Like it doesn't even look right on the instructions. How do you expect anybody to do this right? And I wonder how many other people are just screaming right now. You can do it. I always think of the guy on Happy Gilmore. You can do it. Anna, before you drop a lot of money, consider signing up for one of those rebate programs. I would imagine Wayfair is a vendor on them. Ooh, that's good. You know who we have the rebate program from? What is the name of that app? What is the name of that app? I don't see it. But yeah, you're right. I know you get like 5 or 2% back or something. That's a good idea. You know what, Anna? You alone today are like you're like my guru today. I'm glad you showed up today. Thank you. Washing dishes mean you had food to eat. Find gratitude in all things. Diana, I love it. I love it. I can't believe I never thought of that, right? We talk about like turning on the light switch. We have power. Think about like what had to happen for you to get to that. And what am I going to do today to earn that? Same thing. I have water to wash my dishes. There's people that don't have that. I have plates. I have food to put on those plates. There's a lot of components of that, right? Absolutely. Gratitude. Thanks for coaching me today, guys. Joyce Meyer says to be happy you have dishes, that means you have food. See? That's it. That's great. Stacy, do you have a good software program that you can use? Can't talk. See, we're getting to the limit of me being able to talk today. Do you have a good software program that you can use for tracking customer planners and send out reminders? We're trying to find a program for client personnel to use items to streamline our time. So we have like an email program that tracks when people purchase something, and it should remind them that they need another one. We probably could do a better job with it. Yeah, but yeah, we do need to probably do a better job to keep people on board. And we also have a subscription program that the software, when we updated our website, the software didn't integrate with the software. So people could sign up and get a discount plus free shipping and get the planner shipped out to them every month. That we still have people on the program, but we haven't signed up new people because the software didn't integrate. So we might have to go back and look into that. Because that's the best way to do it. Then nobody has to think about it. Rita says, my daughter and I have put together a desk office chair. She has become a pro, usually had most done, and I helped being third hand. Build skills and confidence. She is awesome. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And the one tool that makes all of the difference in the world is a power screwdriver. Because when you don't have to do this nonstop, and you can just go zoop, then it just makes the whole thing a much better experience. Not bad for 3 hours of sleep. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you, Anna. Debbie says, look for the 5% good in every situation. It's possible to find something to be grateful for in almost every situation. So that is something that it's hard for people to see. So I talk about that. Oop, Rita got it. Um, Debbie, this is I'm going to put you back up there. This is something it's hard for people to see because people get so deep in negative emotions that they refuse to see the good they have. But that is something I reference it a couple of times. Like my dad always said as we were growing up, no matter how bad you think you have it, I guarantee somebody else has it worse. So be thankful for what you have, right? And that might be a negative way of looking at it, but it also is pretty impactful. And so, um, you know, and we've even had returns of Define My Day where people didn't rip out the pages they wrote in, and when they on the I appreciate, they would write nothing, and that is not following the practice. That's almost just feeling sorry for yourself in a way, right? Maybe I don't know. I don't want to be judgmental with it, but you have to make a practice of finding what good is in your life, and it might be incredibly hard. Really, I mean, like you could. There are some terrible things people could be going through, but there's probably something good also, like something that you have, like even the ability to turn things around is a good thing. Like the fact that you woke up today and like we can go forward. Like in this situation right now, people are at risk for going broke, right? People can't afford things. But you could say, even if you have a terrible situation right now, at least I live in the US. I mean, because it could be much worse. If you look at like India right now, they have a huge uh, 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 problem because there's so many people that are poor that are migrant workers, and then now they're stuck because there's no transportation, and they can't go anywhere, they can't make money, they can't do anything. And so you like no matter how bad we have it here, there's probably people in other places that are having a lot worse right now. And there's even people in the US that have a lot worse. So we still have the ability, we still have internet, we still have the ability to talk about this stuff. We still have, something. There are people that have a lot less than we do. So understanding that and finding that good that we still have in our lives is really important. So Debbie, that's a great point. There's some 5% good, 10% good, 1% good. There's some good in a lot of situations. You go back to, and a lot of people are making reference to this book now. It's Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. That guy went through a concentration camp, and there, I mean, what is left? I mean, seriously, I mean that's one of the most awful experiences that anybody could go through. But the people that made it through were the people that had a sense of purpose and that found something to live for. And you can see that in comments that people are making now on some of our advertising and our posts. What's the use? We talked about that the other day. How does this matter? Well, you got it. You have to have something to live for every day. You can't just let go of it all. And so finding anything right now that's good. Like I can pick up the phone and talk to a family member. You could be alone in a house right now, but you could pick up the phone and call somebody. You could educate yourself. You could read. You could relax. You could just let life, kind of just take a breath, like relax. So yeah, you got to find the good everywhere. So Debbie, thank you very much for that comment. Diana, it takes practice. The more you flip your switch, the easier it is to repeat. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Jimmy Fallon had a guest on last night that supports the Covenant House charity. They help the homeless youth. It never occurred to me how bad it is for homeless right now. They don't have a lot of places to shelter and safety right now. you're absolutely right. And I've seen a couple of things, and I know the Pittsburgh Food Bank, they had a line of cars that stretched, I don't know how far, but it was ridiculous. So, and I'm sure there's a lot of ways that people can help those types of organizations. And, I've given it some thought. I think that in my own life, I've been putting our own things first and our own family safety first. But as the days go on, I've felt more of a pull to do something else to help. So I'm exploring that for myself, and we'll have to see where that takes us. I don't know. But, I don't know where it goes. But, I think that eventually it's going to get to the point where I feel compelled, and I'm just kind of, I guess I'm kind of exploring like what, I don't want to just pick something and do it for some reason. I feel like there's got to be something that I just go like, I have to do that, right? And that's kind of the approach I'm taking right now. But again, my kids and my wife are the most important thing. So trying to do what I can do with you guys, because you are the other really important thing in our lives right now. So we're trying to do what we can to help you guys out, um, and do what's best for the safety of our family, and you know, uh, evaluate that as we continue to move forward. You're welcome. Lavie says, "Thank you for helping me get my mindset priority straight. The glass is always half full." It is, I mean, it's really a perspective thing, and I believe even in Man's Search for Meaning, he references cancer patients. I believe it was that book. It might have been a different one, where like the people that are going through terminal cancer, they choose to be grateful, happy in a way, um, positive, or they can choose to go the complete opposite direction. And quality of life, I mean, you could be going through something awful that is literally killing you, and you can take it up to the end with grace or not. And, I think it's a matter of mindset for a lot of people. And you can find the good or the bad in any situation. Like you could have the best situation happening right now and find everything wrong with it. Or you could have a terrible situation and find that sliver of good. And I think that happens. You see that happening day in and day out, especially right now. You see the direction that people default in going. Like you can see the people that are just have it awful, right? Certainly have it worse than I do. And they are a positive light in the world. And then you have some people that are in a much better position than any of us. And they're just not doing well at all. So, you gotta be aware of it. Good morning, Mary. Just got on, and I will watch the replay. Ordered a pink DMD. Can't wait to get it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Listen, I'm gonna jump off because I just heard somebody that needs me. I'm gonna jump off, but I appreciate all of you guys. I'll be back here 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Um, I would the thing you could do for us. Look, I love when you guys order our product. That is awesome. I appreciate every one of your orders. The other thing that you could do for me right now would be to share us out, like us on YouTube, like our podcast, give us a 5-star review of our podcast, give us a great review on Facebook for Define My Day. Anything you guys can do to help us there, I really appreciate. Thank you very much. And I appreciate all of the great ideas that I got from you guys today. Anna, super contributor. I know there's other people on here that gave me some great ideas. Debbie, Rita, you guys have been awesome. Thank you very much. I'm going to go through my Saturday today with my boys, and have a great day today. Have a great day yourselves. I appreciate you joining me today. Keep moving forward, and I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Bye.